Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Screen is visible?
Yes.
Okay. Once again, very good morning to everyone. Till last class, we have discussed all these chapters. Today, we are going to cover the principle of highway alignment. And basically, this particular chapter exclusively you are going to study in the unit 2. But before covering in the unit 2, you might be getting a little bit overview about the principle of highway alignment with respect to the requirements and controlling factors. So let us cover very quickly brief discussions about the alignment. So alignment is a general term you might be knowing. It is making the perfections. So if you are making something in a very aligned manner, so it will end with a smooth way. So the same definitions we are defining for the highways also when we are trying to align the road and we are constructing and we are providing for the end users, so then that will be leads to the success of that particular objective. So with that, this is in a basic definitions when we are positions or layout of the center line of the highway on the ground when we are making is an perfect, so that is considering as an alignment. So how basically we are doing in the sense we are finding what will be the center line. Once you know the center line from here 3.5 meter and here 3.5 meter, the road lane is designed. So this alignment is we are making with respect to the center line. So this positions or the layout of the center line of the highway when we are trying to provide on the ground with respect to the given design. So that is considering as an alignment. It is making a straight path. Sometimes it is making a horizontal curve, or sometimes it is making us a vertical curve in the upstream or the downstream. So this is in three ways we can make that alignment. In case if you're not providing the proper alignment or the design what we are providing on the field, if it is getting failed, what will happen? So basically it may lead to the accident and some other cost related disadvantage for the end user as well as the government. Like the construction's cost is increasing if you're not providing the proper alignment, maintenance costs are increasing, vehicle operating cost is also increasing for the individual users. In case if the accidents are happening, if there is a no proper alignment, definitely the frequency of accidents are high. In that case, the accidents cost also increasing. So this is the four main cost when it is coming to the transportation project. All these costs are expected to increase in case if you are not providing the proper alignment on the road in terms of straight road or the horizontal and the vertical curve. So this is the things. Also, the main important point is that once we constructed road, in the future it is highly difficult to reconstruct that particular road. We may expand that particular road stretch, but we cannot reconstruct that particular road. So to avoid those complexity, when we are trying to propose in the initial stage itself, we have to take care of all the alignments and all other requirements before constructing on the field. So that point we need to keep in the criteria when we are designing and implementing on the field with respect to the road infrastructure. And this is one example Indian highway how it is there with respect to the center line, the straight road how perfectly or the properly aligned with respect to the median. So this is an example of the highway alignment straight stretch. In the horizontal curve how it is there, the vertical curve. So this is also one of the vertical curve example, and this is another example for the horizontal curve. So all this what we can say alignment we are going to study in the next unit with respect to the lot of equations and various problems we are going to solve in the unit 2. So with that, these are the some of the requirement we should consider. First one is the short. So when we are yesterday itself, I have discussed A and the B. Maybe this might be the Chennai and this might be the Tiruchi. So when you are planning to propose a road between these two cities, so the alignment has to be made with respect to the shortest path. So that will be the first criteria to reach this bus particular destination. This road will be the shortest road with respect to the distance and the travel time. Also, it is easy to ride in that particular road with increasing the vehicle, reducing the vehicle operating cost. Then it has to increase the safety for all the persons who is traveling in that particular road. Probably the accident should not happen. According to that, the road width, median, signal, flyover, so all the facilities we have to incorporate. Particularly when it is coming to the hilly stations, all the points need to be incorporated. Finally, economical. The government who is proposing at the end, who all are using the driver or the passengers, both the side we have to get the benefits with respect to the economical point of. So these are the four major requirement when it is coming to the highway alignment. As a transportation designers, we need to keep as a mandatory point, like it should be the shortest path, easy for everyone to travel in that particular corridor. Whoever traveling say they feel safe in that particular road stretch. Finally, both the side or the both authorities has to get the economical benefit. So these are the four major requirements when it is coming to the highway alignment. Also, when it is coming to that alignment, some of the points we need to consider. One is that obligatory points. So when you are trying to connect A between the B, in case some intermediate town is there or some mountain is there, how we are going to pass that mountain, how the alternative routes are going to happen, or we are evacuating and the tunnel we are making. So all these points we need to consider when we are doing that alignment. Also, some of the points we should not consider for passing, like a religious places, costly structure, or some bridges are going on, unsuitable land with respect to the soil conditions or agricultural land. So all the things we need to consider as an obligatory points with respect to the requirement, we need to consider it. Second, the traffic origin and the destinations and the other surveys we have to perform. Based on that, what will be the present conditions traffic volume, what will be the future projected volume. So according to that, how the road infrastructures we are going to provide between the A to B need to be considered. So the traffic volume is considering as a second most important parameter. Then the geometric design. So what kind of the gradient, radius of the curve, side distance, ruling gradient. Okay, how we are avoiding the sudden changes when it is coming to the side distance or some pedestrian or the vehicle is crossing, how we are going to incorporate those things. So all the geometric design elements need to be considered as another third important parameter. Then the fourth important one will be the economic. So how the cost is allocated or how the cost is distributed. The breakup has been made between the initial cost, maintenance cost, how we are incorporating the vehicle operating cost with respect to the benefit or the losses. So all the things we are considering. So other than that, we are considering the drainage, some of the political considerations, what will be the water level, okay, flood level, environmental considerations, topographical points, like some of that poor drainage, flood prone areas will be there, some unstable hilly features might be there. So all the topographical control points also need to be considered. So this is with respect to that one side, what are the factors we are considering. The second one will be with respect to the materials and the construction features, how we are using, what kind of the material we are using, how much depth we are going to evacuate it, how the alignment is going to happen with respect to the different kind of the soil conditions. Based on the soil conditions, how the thickness of the pavement we are defining, how the near sources of the embankment pavement materials are locally available. So all the materials and constructions related features also giving the another requirement while coming to the design aspect. So in that point, we need to consider the stability extra when it is coming to the hilly station. So when it is coming to the hilly stations and all, slightly it will be differ from the plain terrain, right? So in that particular point of time, we have to consider what will be the stability and what are the drainage facilities we are providing and what will be the changes on the geometric standards with respect to the resisting length, the gradient, the curve, speed, and other parameters, stopping side distance, everything will differ slightly for the hilly stations. So what are the changes we are incorporating? So all the things we need to be covered when it is coming to the hilly station, hilly roads. So that additional care we have to take care of it. So these are the brief introductions about the highway alignment. What are the alignments we are doing? So what are the factors, so what are the requirement is there with respect to the two aspect, with respect to the four main factors, so that we have discussed in the briefly, and those things only we have summarized here. So example, the place or the town should be connected. Example, Tiruchi to Chennai, if you want to connect it, how the Perambalur and other cities like Sri Perambuttur, Tambaram, so all the cities how it is connected, or all the stops how it is connected, and how the shortest route we are preparing, how the slopes gradients are there, how the animal movements are there, what kind of the horizontal curve we are providing 150 meters to 350 meters, so how the variations are happen in case some sudden turnings are there, what will be the stopping side distance, intersections are there, what will be the side distance, what is a subgrade soil, how the foundations we are going to provide, earthwork balancing, adequate right of way we are providing in case some rivers are crossing, railway tracks are crossing, how the crossing facilities we are providing, what are the locally available material to construct that particular road, in case if you're transferring the material, how we are getting the benefits, so how we are minimizing the construction cost, maintenance cost, and other things and all, in case some of the natural hazards are happening, how the road is going to sustain. Finally, the drainage is the very important parameters, so how we are providing the proper drainage facilities along with the road structure. So all these factors, there is a need to be considered when it is coming to the alignment of a new highway. So that is all the points I have summarized here. So this is the things with respect to the principles of highway alignment, requirements, and the controlling factors. And very briefly, I have given in the micro level. We are going to study in the second unit. Still, if you have any doubts, you just post your question in the chat box. So the next component of first unit is that engineering surveys for alignment. So mostly you have studied the surveying subject in your second year, third semester. The same survey concepts we are adopting for constructing the road. Probably you might be studied all the surveying techniques, equipments, what it is used. So all the things we might be you have studied already very briefly, and some of the equipments you studied in micro level also, and different applications are there in that surveying, and one of the main applications is that transportation engineering field. So not only the road, okay, if coming to the railways also, the surveys we are performing, even highways, even waterways, airways also, different kind of the surveyings are involved. So that is the reasons the applications, one of the main applications of surveys in the field of transportations engineering, to make the better transportations mode in road, railway, airways, as well as the waterways. So now we narrow down our subject towards that roadways. So let's see what are the surveys we are performing. So before finalizing any highway alignment in the highway project, various engineering survey need to be conducted. So other than the traffic volume survey, origin destination survey, and other traffic related surveys, so we have the typical surveying techniques, engineering survey. It is not a transportation surveys, a traffic or survey. It is an engineering survey. So one will be the map. From the map itself, you might be having the Tamil Nadu map or the India map. road network or the existing patterns will be there. From the map itself, we might be identifying some of the feasible solutions. A to B will be the one solution. This is the one solution. This will be the another alternative solution. From the map, we try to get some of the clarity about the choice or the feasibilities. Second, the reconnaissance survey. So we are going to the field, we are checking with respect to the map what is the feasibilities of conducting the or constructing the facilities on this particular two stretch. So from there we are getting a ground clarity how it is there. Then the preliminary survey, different kind of the tachometric theodolite, using the different kind of the equipments, different kind of the surveys we are performing, and we come to know so what are the actual difficulties are there and what are the actual feasible conditions of constructing the road. Then the finally we are summarizing the detailed report. Probably we might be choosing the best route for the construction's purpose. So this is one of four major engineering surveys which we used to follow when it is coming to the highway project. So map study, as I told that from the map, different kind of the alternative routes are suggested from sitting in the office itself by seeing the topographic map. But nowadays it is not in the paper manner. So we have the plenty of the software, advanced software we have like a QGIS, ArcGIS. So different kind of the softwares we have. So in that software itself, the different layers are there about that particular city or the particular state or the town. From that we might be understanding. It is like a Google map only how we are seeing and how we are getting the knowledge about your route path. So that way the survey has been done by using the map. So probably from the map we try to avoid the valleys, ponds or lake, river, some of the naturally existing facilities we can able to see that. Example, in the Google map, if you're going to the satellite view, you can able to see where the hills are existing. Even normal typical mode also, if you're going the rivers, we can able to see, right? So in case the hills are there, how we are passing that mountain hills, okay, so that is also can be studied from the map study. So these are the major what we can say benefits or the points we can incorporate from the map study, which is an initial stage of your highway project. The second will be the recognition survey. So whatever we have seen on the map, we are confirming with respect to the field. Yes, it is really existing on the field. Yes, the hill is already existing. The rivers are existing. So those kind of that confirmations we are doing. From that, we are checking which one will be the most feasible routes for the detailed studies. So those kind of the things we are performing. From that we are doing different kind of the surveys, like a simple survey like a length assignment, length, angle, how that variations are there, okay, and how the drainages are existing, what will be the soil characteristics, geological features. So all the things, gradient, how it is there, length of the gradient, and some other permanent structures are existing. So all the things which might not be available on the map. So map, the turning might be there. So how, whether it will be the horizontal curve or the vertical curve. So that is the questions in that particular map. Am I right? So those kind of that micro level informations we were getting from the recognition survey. So once we get that details, we are preparing the merits and demerits of the different alternative routes. Two routes we have finalized, route 1, route 2 to reach the origin A to B. So this might be the R1, R2. So merit and demerit for the both method we are identifying, we are comparing, and which one will be giving the best one. So that is we are choosing for the further analysis. So out of these two, we are identifying that R2 will be the best solutions. Example, if you are going to the R1, rivers is there, some hilly stations are there, so different kind of the obstacles are there. So that's what we are avoiding, because the construction cost is more, maintenance costs are high, okay, so that is the reasons we are choosing the R2. So example I'm telling, so this kind of the conclusions we might be able to arrive. So when we are comparing the things which we observe from the map and how the physical checkup are going on the field, and the simple surveys we are doing and comparing with respect to the different properties. So based on that merit and the demerit, we are trying to identify the suitable solution for the construction's purpose. So this is the main motivations of the Reconnaissance survey. Then the next one will be the preliminary survey. So this is an important survey, and one alternative you are choosing from the Reconnaissance survey, and all the physical informations and the detail of the topography, drainage and the soil conditions, everything we were collecting from the preliminary survey to make the proper alignment. Also, it is giving the how much quantities are required when it is coming to the earth filling and other constructions aspects are coming. So what is the requirement of the aggregates and the other materials? So the quantity as well as the cost estimations can be done based on that preliminary survey. So here you already studied two type of the surveys are the conventional approach and the modern approach. The conventional surveys, the typically the chain surveying you are doing, and tachometric you are using, trigonometric leveling you are using. So this kind of that conventional equipments when you are trying to use and try to cover the record data. So that approach is lead to the conventional approach. The same time you might be studied that modern survey, like when it is coming to the inbuilt like a theodolite, aerial photographic and remote sensing. Okay, so these kind of that advanced surveying technique when we are trying to adapt to, I think probably you opted that elective for this semester. So when you are performing those kind of the modern equipment based survey, when we are GPSs, so when we are trying to use and collect the preliminary data, so that approach is considering as a modern approach. Also the profiles are varying with respect to the terrain. So you might be studied the plain terrain, rolling terrain and the hilly terrain. So the cross sectional profile also it is varying with respect to the different kind of the profile. So finally, when you are performing the conventional and the availability of the modern equipment, the modern rapid approach when we are trying to adopt in the field of the preliminary survey, we were able to bring the best alignment by considering all the factors in that constructions, particularly when you are trying to reach A to B using the R2. R2 is our finalized route from the Reconnaissance survey. So this is the things we are confirming from the preliminary survey. Finally, you are coming back to the office. So all the surveys whatever we have done, everything you are transferring to the maybe the computerized as well as the perfect documentations based things you are doing, and the constructions are going to happen on the field. So different kind of that concepts you might be studied. So the center line we are trying to finalize it, a different kind of the interval we are going to follow it for the plain rolling and the hilly terrain. The drainage we are calculating, the earthwork we are calculating, the drainage details we are working out, the soils test done, the soil can be taken, the tested CBR value we are trying to find it out. So all the detailed informations we are collecting about that particular locations, then we are elaborating and we are preparing the detailed plan, design and estimates, cost estimate of that particular project under the final locations and the detailed survey column. So this is in a 4 surveys: map, recognitions, preliminary, final locations and the detailed survey, what we can say reports. So this is in a 4 major engineering survey in the field of the new when you're any or new highway project. So it is very simple to understand. So I have summarized all the points. uh, so this is also a report which we have to produce it. What will be the key map, index map, preliminary survey plan. So all the things whatever we have discussed, the different parameters, soils and other things, according to that the report can be presented in the terms of map or the report. So this is the things we are following when it is coming to the new highway project. So all these things we have to consider. So first the map study we are doing, recognition survey, preliminary survey, the locations, the final alignment we are bringing, then the detailed survey and report we are preparing, material survey. So irrespective of the pavement, aggregate, soil, so all the material survey we have to prepare. Then the geometric and the structural design. So in case the bridge is coming and the heavy structures it is proposed, so what will be the geometric and the structural design? So that has to be done. Then the earthwork, then the pavement constructions, then the constructions controls how it is happening. So all this point, okay, all these 10 points we have to keep it as a report when we are trying to propose a new highway project. So this is in the detailed informations about the engineering survey, and here we conclude our today's sessions. The four major concepts we have covered: the principles of highway alignment. What is the highway alignment and what is a requirement? Four major requirements with respect to different controlling factors that we have seen in that macro level, and the micro level with respect to the design problems and that derivations and all we are going to study in detailed manner in the unit 2. Then the survey, engineering survey, I might be covered very quickly, since you have that very good knowledge in the field of surveying. You studied in the last year including your survey lab. Also currently you are studying that advanced surveying techniques. So this applications of both the subjects when it is coming to the new highway project. So that's what I just give an overview. So when you're trying to recall all the surveying and the surveying techniques with respect to the conventional and the advanced, so that will be the quick idea how we are getting. So this is the things, and yeah, probably there won't be the any competitive questions, but still you should understand what is the engineering survey, what are the different steps are involving, what is the difference between all the all the surveying methods, so that you try to understand it. It is not understand, just recall it. Okay, so here I'm concluding. Any doubt from the today's sessions? So tomorrow we will not tomorrow, next Monday we will see the typical cross sections elements, which we already you studied during our introduction to civil engineering. But still I recall all the cross section elements with respect to the typical road cross sections. Once it's over, we will start our second unit. So second unit mostly it involved the problematics. So you just ready with your calculator and the pen and paper when we start our second unit. So this is in a brief. Any doubt from the today's session? If you have the doubt, you post your questions, or I am allowing the mic for all the attendees. You just raise your questions.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Yes.
Sir, you said that we can make a road wider, but we cannot construct the road again. Sir, why is it so? Sir, I have seen in many situations that when the pavement is not in a good condition, or it may have, it was constructed in the past, but it is now presently now the present condition is not that much good. Even then, after that, the pavement is constructed again. So, sir, why you said that we cannot construct the road again once it has been constructed?
See, once the constructions is over, so we maybe to the patching, you might be saying that the payment overlay they have it done, right? So removing the existing payment and then they have overlay it. So the patching might be done and the widening might be done. But instead of that, we cannot go for the, maybe we can go for that alternative roads. But between the A and B, if you want to make the small changes, it is a highly difficult. The main issue is that one is that land acquisitions. So when it is coming to the city corridor and all, so already it is saturated with respect to the different facilities. With respect to the urban areas or the down where the developments are already happened, so there to get the proper land, so that is not at all possible. So that's what I mentioned, that constructing new road is difficult. So when it is coming between the A and B with respect to the same alignment, So if it is an alternative, as you mentioned that definitely it is possible. But when it is coming to the existing road, there is expansions only possible. But still, when it is coming to the extension and all, still the land acquisitions, the roadside and a lot of job workers you can able to find the shop wallers. So removing them, so then again expansions it itself, it is a highly difficult. So removing them and again going for the constructions and all, it is highly affecting the current scenarios also. In case if you're from some of the cities, metropolitan city like a metro Delhi or the Chennai and all, on the road underpass or the overbridge, when you are trying to propose that monorail or the metro rail itself, how the congestions are happening and a lot of complexities are happening, so that is creating another issues. So this is with respect to the technical aspect as an engineers we are facing. So other than that, the funding allocations also creating a bigger questions. Then the another one is that political and the publics. So when we are proposing the new facilities, the public simply going and putting a stay and the work is staying for the more than 5-10 years. So we can able to see so many bridges, so many constructions. And if you're traveling in the Tiruchi near the central bus stand, so more than 8 or 10 years the bridge is not constructed, it is stopping in the middle. So where we have the land acquisitions with the army force only, it is there. So their campus, they are not giving the land for the putting the pillar and extending the bridges. So this kind of that land acquisitions and the irrelevant between the public and the private partnerships together towards that government policies and all, also creating the complications. So a lot of difficulties are there with respect to the scenarios, current scenarios. So that is the reasons it is saying that it is slightly impossible for constructing the new house between the same alignment origin A and B. But alternative route is highly possible, that I agreed. Okay.
So, sir, you are saying that we can construct the road again, but due to these constraints like the acquisition of land and the public problems, all these things like they are acting as a constraint, and due to these we cannot construct the road again. But only if we have to construct, we can construct. But these are the problems, right?
Yeah, so these are the technical as well as the non-technical aspect also I have a covered. But most of the times, so when we are so that is the one thing, and most of the time when we are proposing the roads, we have the lifetime actually. So lifetime of the road also there. If it is existing that lifetime also, we know how to strengthen. So that means the overpatching or some admixtures or the quality of the road, we are trying to change it. In since it is in a plain terrain, I don't think so we will get an issues to extend the lifetime. So until otherwise the traffic is oversaturated, the requirements are, there is a highly demanded, in that particular point of time only we have to go and we have to see for all this constructions requirement. Until otherwise it is not required, so we have to see the traffic demand, how highly it is required, whether we can able to manage with that existing road or simple traffic management measures, not only extending the road, whether you can put the signal or small diversions you can make it, or the some bridge you can construct it. So this kind of the traffic management measurements you try to incorporate and see how the changes are happening. Also the meantime you improve the strength of the existing materials to if the flexible rigid concrete in the sense to avoid all the failures like a crack or some failures are happening, so all the failures should be rectified. So those kind of that remedial measures we can make it. Still if it is not working on it, then we have to go for that alternative solution. So if you want to talk about that one live examples, just come to the my mind is that in Mumbai, if you are traveling to Bandra and Worli, so it is a highly congested. For the 30 minutes travel, people faced 2 to 3 hours during the office peak hours. You won't believe it, but it happened. To avoid those situations only, the government has introduced Bandra's Worli Sea Link Bridge. So constructing that bridge, most of the traffic is diverted towards that particular directions. So this is one alternative solutions they brought it when it is coming to the oversaturated level with respect to the traffic volume and the demand. So hope you got Amit. Am I right? Okay, any other doubts? Any other transportations related or not only that subjects what we have covered?
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay, okay, Amit. Yeah. So almost we have completed the first unit. Only the small component is there, cross-sectional elements. So that we will cover in the Monday sessions. And I will start the basic introductions, terms and other details in the second unit. And very quickly we will go for the problems and the designs oriented topic in the unit 2. So I uploaded the first unit PPT also. So whenever you are getting time, you just download and go through the PPT. But my suggestion is that to replay the video and understand it. So it's because most of the things I have explained, which is not available in the PPT. In case if you are planning for the GATE or some other competitive exams and all, topic wise I have explained. So there you have to give the more focus. So thank you everyone. See you Monday. Stay safe and take care. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you everyone. I'm ending the
Sir.
session.